It all began when Kane, a film student, stumbled upon an old video camera in the woods near a quiet little place called Hollowfield Village. It looked ancient, covered in dust, with scratches and dents all over its casing. But to his surprise, when he plugged it in, the old thing still worked. On the memory card, there was only one file, a strange name, Aria _HOME_final. Kane just shrugged it off, thinking it was some leftover clip he could use for his horror short film project. He roped in two friends, Nessa, a classmate who was always up for an adventure, and Leo, a sound effects guru. The three of them gathered around Kane's laptop. The footage was grainy, but you could clearly see a young girl standing with her back to the camera, staring at an old, decaying wooden house. Then, a woman's voice, barely a whisper, floated through the speakers. "When morning comes, we'll bring her home." Kane hit pause. Nessa burst out laughing. "This is probably some old viral marketing stunt. Upload this to YouTube, man, you'll get 100,000 views in a day." But Leo wasn't laughing. He quietly took the controls, slowing the playback frame by frame. And there, reflected in the dark window of the house, were two other faces, their expressions unreadable, just staring out. 3 days later, their curiosity got the better of them. They decided to find that house. But when they asked around Hollowfield, nobody wanted to talk about it. The villagers would just shake their heads and walk away. Finally, a frail old woman, her hands trembling, pointed a shaky finger toward the woods. "Don't go there," she warned, her voice cracking. "Those who never sleep, they're still around." Ignoring her warning, Kane switched on his camera, starting his film diary. October 4th, 2025. Project Midnight short film shoot at Hollowfield. His voice sounded confident, but it was mixed with a nervous laugh. Leo, ever the joker, adjusted his boom mic. "I swear, if we run into a ghost, I'm hitting it with this thing." But as they stepped onto the forest path, a strange stillness fell over them. All the sounds of the woods just vanished. No wind, no birdsong. The only sounds picked up by Leo's recorder were their own footsteps and ragged breaths. And then, through the thick fog, it appeared. The house. A slanted roof, a door rotting off its hinges, and a faint flickering light in an upstairs window. Is someone in there?" Nessa whispered, her voice barely audible. Kane zoomed in with his camera. The light was unsteady, like a single candle flame dancing in the dark. As they cautiously approached, the front door creaked open with just a light touch, as if inviting them in. The air inside was thick with the smell of mold, burnt wood, and something else. Something metallic, like old blood. Kane kept his camera rolling, whispering into it. Note: old interior, furniture intact. No signs of recent residents. Suddenly, Leo froze, his face pale. He pointed to the wall. Carved deep into the wood were the words, "We don't sleep, and right below them, a dried, dark trail led down towards the basement stairs. "It's probably just staged," Kane said, but his voice trembled, betraying his fear. While Nessa quietly filmed with her phone, Leo aimed his microphone towards the darkness of the basement. A faint sound drifted up. It was soft, broken, like a child's lullaby, the same one from the tape. "When morning comes, we'll bring her home. Did you hear that?" Leo whispered, his eyes wide with terror. Kane tried to force a grin. "It's just an old sound effect from the tape. Guys, relax." But when they turned back, his own camera was recording by itself. The little red light was blinking, and on its screen, new text appeared. "REC 0 hours 0 minutes and 1 second Aria." Down in the basement, their flashlight beams cut through the darkness, revealing shattered jars and a strange red liquid smeared across the floor. In the center of the room stood another camera, identical to the one Kane had found. On its small screen, they saw their own reflections, standing in that very basement. But the figures in the video weren't moving. Their eyes were just black, sunken pits. We should go," Nessa choked out. Kane spun around to head for the stairs, but they were gone. In their place was a solid wooden wall, slick with moisture, seeming to tremble as if it were breathing. The child's voice came back, louder now, surrounding them from all directions. "When morning comes, we'll bring her home." The lights flickered wildly. "Turn the camera off," Leo screamed. But Kane couldn't. His fingers fumbled with the buttons, but the camera was completely unresponsive. The footage on its screen began to twist and spin violently before freezing on a terrifying close-up. The girl, Aria. Her eyes were wide, blood streaming from her nose, her lips moving without a sound, before finally forming a whisper. "You've seen ... the second tape." The video ended. The next day, police found Kane's camera lying by a dry creek bed in the woods. Kane, Nessa and Leo were never seen again. Scratched crudely into the camera's casing, as if by a fingernail, were the words, "When morning comes, we'll bring her home." They say that now on every full moon. If you re brave enough to be in those woods and you turn on an old camera in night vision mode, you can still see 3 figures standing silently before that house. One holding a microphone, one holding a phone, and the third one still filming. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chills. Stay safe out there.